the commission and the ascension. This story is a little harder story to learn. The reason is there's a lot of details. Remember, Jesus is talking to his disciples, and several times there's a lot of detail. So consequently, the storyboard is going to be a little bit more thorough. I want to encourage you, though, to take the time to learn it. You're going to have to go through this storyboard over and over again until you have it in your head. Remember this, the harder a story is to learn, the easier it is to remember it long term. So take the time, learn the story. There's so many stories that are much easier than this, that don't let this one discourage you. We're going to start off by first placing the story around the room where you're at. First of all, in that corner right over there, right behind you, is the Mountain of Galilee. What is it? Mountain of Galilee. Coming across to this opposite corner is the 40 days. And then you have the Mount of Olives. So the mountain, and this is the sign, the Mountain of Galilee, the 40 days, and over here in this corner is the Mount of Olives. Now in this corner, over on this side, is the upper room. Mountain of Galilee, 40 days, Mount of Olives, the upper room. The whole story happens in these various locations. Now let's get into it. We have, first of all, get your hands up. Join in with me. We have the mountain in Galilee, where Jesus says, you have the authority to preach and to make disciples of all nations, baptizing them and teaching them what I have taught you. Now the key is to keep your hands moving at all times. In this one, you're going to have the hands responding to one another. So we have the, what is it? The Mountain of Galilee, the authority to preach, make disciples of all nations. Now this hand's going to come back and it's just going right down for baptize them. Now keep this hand up, and to teach what I have taught you, and I'll be with you. Okay, so this hand go. So to teach all nations, baptizing them, teaching them what I have taught you, and I am with you. Now the hand comes right back up. 40 days he taught them, and then they went to the Mount of Olives. So there we have the two mountains with the 40 days in between. Remember, over there and over here, and in between. So let's just do it again. We have the mountain in Galilee, authority to preach, make disciples of all nations, baptizing them, teaching them, I am with you. For 40 days he taught them, and then took them to the Mount of Olives. Now at this point right here, they're at the Mount of Olives, and he's telling them to wait. So just come up. Wait in Jerusalem. Now, you have your hand out, and that kind of looks like the top of a crown right here. So just remember that. Wait. And then they say, is this the time when you're going to restore the kingdom to Israel? He says, only the Father knows that. So let's just go back. We have that he takes them to the Mount of Olives. He says, wait. Is this the time to restore the kingdom to Israel? Only the Father knows this. Wait for the coming of the Holy Spirit. He'll give you the power to tell others about me. Now really, that's the hardest part of this entire storyboard, is up to this point. The rest of it is very easy. So let's just go back and do just this again. Now remember, you're going to review this many times to get this section. And once you have this, the rest of the story is fairly easy. So we have the mountain in Galilee. You have the authority to preach. to make disciples of many nations, baptizing them, teach them what I have taught you. I am with you to the end of the earth. 40 days he taught them. Then Mount of Olives. Wait in Jerusalem. Is this the time to restore it? Or let's just say Kingdom of Israel. Only the Father knows that. Wait for the Holy Spirit. He'll give you power to tell others about me. Start in Jerusalem. This is going to be Jerusalem. Start in Jerusalem and then go wider. And then all of Judea, Samaria, the ends of the earth. Okay, so what's this? Kingdom of Israel. Only the Father knows that. Wait for the coming of the Holy Spirit. He'll give you the power to tell others about me. Start in Jerusalem. Go to all the nation. Samaria, the ends of the earth. Now your hands are up, and we're just going to, Jesus goes up into the air. So ends of the earth. Jesus goes up in the air. The disciples, now just bring your hands down and just keep looking up. The disciples keep looking up. 2 men in white appear. Why are you looking up? The same Jesus will come down. So when your eyes go up, you don't come back down until Jesus will come again. So the ends of the earth, Jesus went up. Disciples kept looking. 2 men appeared in white. Why are you looking up? This same Jesus will come again. So they went back to Jerusalem. And there was 120. Now you may have a better way of saying 120, but that's 120 that stayed in prayer. Now this is the sign for betrayal. You have the 120, and then prayer. Then you bring that one back up, and betrayal is pushing over the index finger. So we know that Judas betrayed Jesus. We're going to we need to replace him. Now I'm just going to tap the back of my hand like I'm tapping someone's shoulder, like I'm going to replace. I'm going to select someone. I'm going to tap them on the shoulder. 120 people in prayer. We know that Judas betrayed Jesus. We need to replace him. They need to have been with Jesus since the beginning of his ministry and have seen him since he was raised from the dead. They selected Matthias. Okay, let's go back to Jesus went up. The disciples watched. 2 men appeared. Why are you looking up? He'll come back. They went back to Jerusalem. 120 people, including men and women, in prayer. We know that Judas betrayed Jesus. We need to replace him. Someone who was with Jesus from the beginning, have seen him since he was raised from the dead. So they chose Matthias. Okay, let's go back at the beginning, go through the whole thing from start to finish. I'm going to let you kind of lead out, so kind of try to stay ahead of me right here. Okay, what is it? First of all, where are the places? What's over in that corner? That's right, that's the mountain in Galilee. The 40 days. The Mount of Olives, the upper room. The mountain in Galilee. Authority to preach. Make disciples of all nations, baptizing them. Teach them what I have taught you. I will be with you. For 40 days he taught them. And then he took them to the Mount of Olives. Wait in Jerusalem. Is this the time to restore the kingdom to Israel? Only the Father knows that. Wait for the Spirit. He'll give you power to tell others about me. Start in Jerusalem. Go to the entire nation, Samaria, the entire earth. Jesus went up. Disciples just looked up. 2 men appeared. Why are you looking up? He will come again. They went back to Jerusalem. There was 120 people stayed in prayer. We know that Judas betrayed Jesus. We need to find a replacement. Someone that was with Jesus from the beginning of his ministry and had seen him alive after he was raised from the dead. They chose Matthias. Okay. Go through that several times. Now, what I recommend is that once you kind of have that down, watch me tell the story again. And as you watch me tell the story, do the hand gestures just before I come to each part. That will be a real help to put what is being said with this storyboard. Well, take the time to learn it. It's well worth it. You'll remember it longer. Well, the Lord bless you as you now start the journey through the book of Acts. Stay with me week by week as we go through this journey.